Hello, and now we're going to talk about morning routines. So hopefully you will have listened to the module on evening routine. So you're now having a situation where it's very conducive to good sleep, and you know how to get better sleep, and you know the benefits of sleep, and so you're waking up refreshed. Because a morning routine is very, very difficult to follow through if you're absolutely exhausted when you start it, and you're off to a bad start because you know you're struggling to wake up, and then maybe you want your routine to start at 6 a.m. and here you are at 7:45, and you're in a massive rush, and like everything sort of goes to the wayside, and you don't get your morning routine. So it does start with evening routine, like I just said. So morning routine, look, there's no single perfect way, but there is a way that I have adopted myself that has absolutely worked for me and transformed my days, transformed my life actually. And I have taught it to so many people, and it's transformed theirs. I have one client, she works abroad, very, very accomplished woman, and you know, has run businesses, sold businesses, super successful. And she said to me, this one thing that I taught her, which I'm about to teach you, has completely transformed everything. She said she feels calmer, more in control. And she said she'll just do it forever because she's already seeing such amazing results from it. And she was already very successful, but you know, she feels fitter, stronger, happier, and everything like that. So I will share with you some of these things. I'll share with you what I do. You can adapt it, you know, and create. The important thing is to then go away and create your own morning routine, you know, because we're going to have different situations. You might want to do yours at a different time to me, but I'll tell you mine. So I'm always trying to get 7 or 8 hours solid sleep, and that means that I go to bed fairly early, usually, unless I'm out for dinner, but my alarm always goes off at 4:45, and I'm always up by 10:05. That's my mission. Now, as long as I've gone to bed okay the night before, then I have no problem with that. So I'm up at 10:05. I sort of co-parent my 2 little dogs. So on the days that I have my dogs, then I take them out for a quick walk, and the days that I don't, that sort of task is gone. But what I would say about that is it's lovely to go straight out and just get 10 minutes of fresh air. So if you do have dogs, if you have a garden, you know, just stepping outside for 10 minutes, whether it's dark, light, whatever time of year, and just breathing a few breaths, putting your feet on the grass, you know, so some sort of form of grounding is wonderful. I do that intermittently when I've got the dogs with me. But if you have the dogs, brilliant opportunity to do that. Just a few breaths of fresh air. I then come in, I empty my dishwasher. It's habit stacking. You know, I empty my dishwasher, which I've put on the night before. I create some bulletproof coffee. And I was just explaining actually to the guy here who's managing, Rob, who's managing this the filming for me, that I always make some fresh black coffee. So I grind the beans and I put 5 grams of ghee and 5 grams of MCT. These are 2 very healthy fats, so I put them into my coffee. I put 2 scoops of collagen protein in, and that is my drink pre-workout. And that actually doesn't break my fast. So if you're interested in fasting, it's proven that doesn't break your fast, but it gives me enough energy to then go and do my workout. So I make the coffee. And while that's brewing, you know, I'm making the bed, I'm putting my face mask on. I love to use face masks, all different ones. There's no one special one, you know, I sort of just go through a phase where I'll buy one particular brand, I'll use all of that, and then I'll get another brand. But I love to put a face mask on in the morning, and then, you know, and make the bed, and I get my outfit ready and stuff like that. So a few little basic organisational things, I suppose. Then I have a lovely chair, which I create for my sort of morning routine, and I would very much suggest to you that you do this as well. You have your sort of little meditation space, and so I have my nice seat. It's got all my things around it that I like to have in the morning when I'm in contemplation mode. So I've got some crystals there, I've got a nice rug, place to put my feet, a lovely candle, my journals, my nice pen. So it's a special little place that I go in the morning, and I have my coffee and I sit down, and this is the place where I start to just go through my initial process of the day. And we call this process savers. If you have read The Miracle Morning, you will recognise this phrase. So savers I'll give you the breakdown of what this stands for at a moment. But the important thing so far is I've got my coffee, I've done my organisation stuff, I've got my face mask. It's nice and calm because no one else is up, and I'm sitting in my lovely chair, and I've just got my candle on, and I go through this SAVERS routine. And SAVERS stands for S is silence, A is affirmations, V is visualization. Now E is exercise, and I don't actually do that until I go to the gym, but that's what that is. R is for reading, and S is for scribe, or in other words, journaling. And I go through this process while I'm sitting there drinking my coffee. So my meditation has actually advanced quite significantly into now. So I do a much longer meditation afterwards, which I'll tell you about separately. But to start off with, I just have 10 minutes silence. So I'll put some music on, and I'll just sit there in silence, and I'll contemplate the day, and I'll think about how I want the day to go, and I'll just sip my coffee, and it's literally just for 10 minutes. You can use things like Sensate. There's a brilliant wearable called Sensate, which you put around your neck, and it sort of vibrates the vagus nerve, and it plays music in tune with the vibrations. So sometimes I use that. I have a Muse band. I don't know if you've come across a Muse band, but you can put this around. It's another form of wearable, another form of meditation wearable. You can close your eyes, and when it senses your brain waves, and when your brain waves go calm, then you'll hear bird song. So you can gamify these things, or you can just put some music on from YouTube or something, and you can just sit there with your eyes closed. But it's 10 minutes of silence. And all that does is it quiets the mind. After that, I do 10 minutes of affirmations. Affirmations, what are they? They're called I ams, the I ams. I am a good mother. I am a strong woman. I am abundant. I am happy. Whatever it is that you want to say about yourself, these are the I ams. Why are we doing this? Because what we're doing is we are creating our future identity. We're all in a process of creation. I like to talk about it in terms of versions. There are other modules on this, but I'll just, for the purpose of sort of finishing up the SAVERS explanation, we are all in different versions of our life. So for me, at 60 years old, I like to call myself version 6.0. If you are 52, you're version 5.2. When you're 53, you're going to be version 5.3. So this means that you're constantly creating a new version of you. And you're not in competition with anybody else. You are literally just upgrading the version of you. Now, how do you do that? Well, you go through this process. So you do the affirmations of who your new version is. So if you want to become fitter, one of your affirmations may be, I am fit, I am strong, I am, if there's a certain target weight you have, I am 60 kgs, or whatever it is, you have the I am statements, and they're all about your future identity. Next thing, visualization. 10 minutes of just writing out an ideal day, your ideal future, how you envisage it. So you're visualizing a perfect day for yourself. It could be something as basic as you go into the office, everybody is there, you have a great meeting. You get the promotion that you wanted, you went to the gym, you did a great workout, you saw your children, everything was wonderful there. Well, however it is, you just write out the perfect day. Could be that you're traveling, you're visiting here, there and everywhere, you're feeling strong, you're feeling confident, you look great, your hair's like this, whatever it is, you have a vision. So 10 minutes of just doing that visualization. What's this doing? This is tricking your brain into becoming this new version of you. The brain it really just takes direction. You choose your thoughts, and that's the whole point of this SAVERS exercise. In the morning, priming your day by choosing your thoughts. So that's the V. You're writing this all in your little journal, your special little journal that no one else is seeing, and it's only for you, and it's just for this purpose. Then the E, as I said, is the exercise later on, but the R is the reading. So then you pick something that you're going to read that is going to just fill your brain with positive thoughts. So the Daily Stoic is a great example of that. So I love the Daily Stoic, where it will just give you a couple of pages of really positive input. Atomic Habits is another one. If you want to know what great books to read, have a look at my podcast series, the YBNB Show. And one of those episodes tells you great books to read. So just choose a book like that, 10 minutes. You're not really learning anything. It's just giving you some really positive affirmations and some positive information into your brain, because we want this to be a really, really positive priming exercise. So that's your reading for 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes of scribing, or what we call journaling. And this is really just a brain dump. And again, we want it to be positive. We don't want it to be, oh, I'm really worried about this problem, or that's happened, or this person said this, or what can I do about that? No, it is choosing our thoughts. It's asking positive questions. Positive questions is such an important tool. If we ask negative questions, why can't I do this? Why don't I have this? Why isn't this working? Then the brain very obligingly gives you answers that you don't want to hear. However, if you ask really positive questions, and I did touch on primary questions in one of the previous modules, how can I move this forward? Who can help me with this today? How can I improve this today? Then basically just write the answer. And what happens is that the answer, because you've quieted your mind at the beginning, the answer comes forward. And these amazing things just come out of you. So that is the process for sitting in this nice chair. That's part of the morning routine. I would suggest that you do that. You know, you may have a dog running around or whatever, but try and get up early enough that if there are other members of the household, they're not around at this point. You know, you just have this half an hour for yourself. It doesn't have to be 10 minutes of each of those things. It could be 5 minutes of each of those things. But I used to be a just-in-time person. You know, my children were little. I remember not getting up until maybe 7, and then, you know, we're running around as a household, getting them ready for school, making sure they have breakfast, running around, have they got this, that and the other for their bag, bundling them in the car, through the traffic, getting to school just in time. And really, I didn't really sit down and relax until I was actually in the office. And then, of course, it wasn't relaxing. So I wish I'd known that then, you know, the benefits of the Savers exercise, because it would have made life so much calmer and smoother. I'm telling you it now, I'm emphasising it is the key. You know, if you do this evening routine that we spoke about in the other module, and then you do this in the morning, even if you can't do 10 minutes for all the sections, just 5 minutes, it will be transformative for you for the day. Everything else will seem to be easier. So you do that. For me then, I get myself dressed, and I go off to the gym and I do my workout. I then have some food, which is a combination of carbs and protein, like I said to you in one of the previous modules. I get my steps, and then I'm normally back by about 9 o'clock and I can start my work. So work out your own morning routine, but do make sure that you're going to have some of these essential components to it. You're going to be able to have your things organised in a calm manner. You know, you're making your bed, you've got your outfit ready, your environment is tidy, you're sorting out your kitchen or whatever it is that you want to do, so that you just have a calm environment to leave and to come back to actually later in the day. Make sure you have a component of silence. Make sure you have a component of creating your new identity, because if you only do this once a week or once a month, you're going to forget it in between. But little and often, doing a little bit of this every single morning is just going to remind you of who you're becoming. And who we're becoming is how you really build the best version of yourself. So having that, then having a little bit of input from a very positive piece of literature. So one of those books, just 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be too arduous. And then putting your thoughts down in paper. And then, you get yourself ready. You take off the creams or whatever it is. You get yourself ready for the gym or work or however, and off you go. If you have to fit your gym workout in later in the day, that's absolutely fine. For me, I've gone quite a bit further now as the years have progressed, and so I'm sort of doing things like oxygen therapy and cryotherapy and red light sauna and a very lengthy meditation. I'm going to talk to you about all of those in separate modules, but for now I just want to emphasize the importance of a morning routine which follows a really effective evening routine. It will change your life. And I'd love to, when we look at the surveys at the end of the week and we ask you, have you done your morning routine, have you done your evening routine, you'll be saying yes or no and asking questions. If you have any problems with that, then do put that in the narrative section and we'll give you some feedback, because this is critical. This underpins whether you do your workout, whether you stick to your macros, whether you start to build your life in the way that you want to. You have to prime your brain so that it remembers who you're becoming. So if you do that in the morning, it will change everything, I promise.